What is good, y'all, and welcome back to 5 Minute Fitness. TR here with Black Flag Athletics. We're going to talk to you about something today, give you some tricks of the trade, about something that's a little taboo in CrossFit gyms or functional fitness gyms. Don't tell anybody, but that's right, the bench press. We're going to talk about bench press today and bench press cueing. Now, I'm not talking about world-class power lifters or even competitive power lifters. We're talking about ways in which we can become better benchers, but do it safely to make sure that we're protecting the shoulders. People hide from the bench press because of the issues you can cause with shoulders. So we need to make sure that we set up right and do things correctly, walking down the chain or up the chain from our feet to our shoulders or our upper back to make sure that we don't have any issues. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is what we're doing with our feet. For a lot of people, when we set up, we want to make sure that we're in a position where we can push into the ground, okay? So our feet can either be in this position here, or I tend to like feet back, toes in the ground. It allows me to really push hard into the ground when I'm setting up for the bench press. Now, when we talk about setting up for a bench press, we need to make sure as we lean back, we have 3 points of contact. One on the floor with our feet, one on the bench with our hips, and another on the bench with our shoulders. Notice I didn't say my lower back is flat on the bench. We're going to maintain that natural arch in our back, okay? So as we set up in this position here, putting our feet where we like them. Once I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and pull my shoulders back and down. People usually do a really nice job of pulling the shoulders back, but they forget to pull them down. Often what happens is as we shrug up, elbows have a tendency to follow. As soon as we do that, we get in a very unstable and unsafe position for the shoulder. And that's what often leads to a lot of shoulder issues from bench pressing. So the first thing we're going to do is pull our shoulders back and down, okay? That's going to put the shoulder blades in a depressed position or a down position, allowing for the shoulders to sit in the socket the way they're supposed to as we move, okay? Now, when we address the bar, the first thing we want to do is make sure that our hands or the bar is directly over the top of our wrist or as close as we can be. We don't want to be in a pulled back position here. We need to stay right over the top of the bar. When I go ahead and I set up, I'm going to go ahead and pull that bar off the rack, and the first thing I'm going to do is try and bend the bar. Notice that as soon as I bent the bar, the shoulders rotated and the elbows turned down, okay? When I put myself in that position, that's going to put myself in a healthy position in terms of elbow function or elbow movement as I go down into the bench. Otherwise, if I just maintain this and don't try and bend the bar, again, the tendency is you can see it. My shoulders are starting to shrug up and elbows are moving out. So the first thing we do when we bring that bar out of the rig is try and bend the bar. All right, in this position here. So as I go ahead and try and pull the bar down, and that's what I'm doing. I'm thinking about actively pulling the bar into my chest with my upper back. If you talk to great bench pressers or if you talk to power lifters, they often talk about the bench press really being an upper back exercise. So understanding how to control the muscles of the shoulder blade is going to be very important, and the upper back is going to be very important for being successful with a good bench press. So I'm going to go ahead and actively pull that bar down. Once I make contact just below the nipple line or at the nipple line, and that bar path is going to be straight down and straight up, I'm going to go ahead and think about pulling the bar apart. As I pull the bar apart or stretch it out, it's going to engage more tricep or get the triceps involved a little bit sooner, which, as we know or maybe don't know, 60 to 70% of any pressing movement is tricep dependent. So if you want to get better at pressing, let's take care of those triceps. So I'm going to go ahead and set up in here. I'm going to throw my PVC off the side. I'm going to go ahead and set up. I'm going to dig my toes into the ground, set up my back up nice and flat, shoulder blades pulled back and down. Okay? Once I'm in this position here, I'm nice and tall. I'm just going to lean back. I'm going to watch my head, but I'm going to try and maintain that spinal position. Notice again, my shoulder blades are into the bench. My feet are digging into the ground. When I address the bar, my eyes are right underneath the bar. I'm going to make sure, again, that that bar is right over the top of my wrist. Find my width, and as I go ahead and pull the bar up, I'm going to think about bending it. You can see the inward rotation of my elbows, and I'm going to go ahead and pull the bar down to make contact with my chest. At this point, I'm going to think about ripping the bar apart and spreading it out. So next time you set up for your bench press, let's make sure we follow those points of performance to make sure our shoulders are staying healthy and we can maximize what we're doing. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you at the next 5 Minute Fitness.
Fam on 3. 1, 2, 3.